Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Off camera, I did go ahead and run back quickly to Firelink Shrine. Used up some of the Estus shards that I had been accumulating, as I felt they would probably see some good use in the coming boss fight. So we've got a couple more Estus flasks than we did the last time. And I think all we should really need to do is just run back to this boss. Please don't hit me. Thank you very much. And it should be a pretty easy jaunt. Now, whether or not it's worth it... Oh, wow, that's cool. As you stand in the fog, your character gets kind of duplicated. That's an interesting effect. Well, let's see if this boss is active. It's not. Okay. I also think, let's go ahead and burn an ember here, just for the added health. And then hopefully, our second try with 6 Estus flasks, this guy will prove a little bit easier for us. Alright. And I think... do we just need to kill some of these guys, and eventually he wakes up and joins the party? Or is it just a proximity thing? I'm not entirely sure. Either way, he is definitely aware of our presence now. Do you maybe want to attack and kill all these guys that are chasing me right now? That would be swell. Oh, didn't quite land them there. It'd be nice if my really, I'm not hitting him? Is this okay. Is it that the growth, I could kind of see like a protective maybe like wall. There we go. That certainly worked. Around the, I don't know, pus sacks, whatever you want to call them, on his back. They kind of have like branches around them. And it appears that I cannot actually hurt those. Which is fine. We will hurt others, like these, with no protective things. Oh boy. Okay. That didn't do much. Oh, that did much. Sometimes the attacks we're getting hit by are just sort of staggering us. Not really doing much damage, but causing us to get jostled around a little bit. That's definitely an attack that does damage, though. Okay, heal up a bit. We're taking damage as we walk around for some reason. Ow. We're getting hit in the head by falling objects. Okay, got another one of his arms. Of course, here's the big one, and I've been doing very little to it. Really. And that all somehow went through him. Apparently, hitboxes are not my friend. There we go. Okay, let's back off a little bit. He's stunned, which is fine. Now, I think by this time... yeah, there we go. The last time I fought him, I'd say we'd already fallen through. And now we have it again. Interesting. He seems to kind of regrow the ones on the front of him as the arm comes flying out. There we go. Good damage. Good damage. Now, I died last time to actually being picked up. I think I'm going to top off just a little bit there to avoid anything that might one-shot me. And might also want to go ahead and rebuff here. The shield's not doing an awful lot of good for us at the moment, but it makes me feel better. Okay. And can I get anything in here? No? It's odd. I don't know if it's the Estox attack that just doesn't hit that, or what exactly. But we never seem to be able to really connect with the ones on his back. There we go. That's a little bit of damage. And I do mean a little bit of damage. Doesn't look like there are any over here that I could be hitting. It's really the arm or nothing as the fight goes on, huh? Okay, okay. Camera angle mini boss. Always willing to try to kill us. Yeah. I will say, ow, that the S-Stock is probably like the worst kind of weapon to use against a boss like this, where we need to hit some spots on him that maybe a big sweeping weapon would be a lot better at. But it got the job done. Soul of the Rotted Greatwood and the Transposing Kiln. Now, we've heard mention of the kiln. There was a developer message out there, as well as the diminutive little guy back in Firelink Shrine. That was interesting. Anything else down here? Is this just serve as a boss area? Now, I know if this is a dead end, there is still the elevator, which we took up to Sigurd's thing, and we could be taking down to wherever Sigurd was coming from. And it kind of looks like that is what is in store for us. Bonfire came up over here, and we get a homeward bone telling us that we should probably leave. And a War God wooden shield. Let's check that out really quick. It is worse at physical, better at basically everything else. Interesting that it looks kind of wooden and is good against fire. Reinforced with metal, the largest of the medium wooden shields. A bizarre pattern featured on the shield is the mark of a mad god, revered as a god of war in remote regions. And the mark is interesting, to say the least. And then we have another, sacrificial altar. Offer vertebrae shackles. So I'm assuming this is a covenant-related thing, and I do not have any vertebrae shackles, so not a covenant-related thing that I'm going to be dealing with. Bonfire lit, and with 7,000 souls, do you think we'd be able to level up? I don't know. I don't know. I think I might. Let's bounce back to Firelink Shrine. I was there briefly, but I actually wanted to avoid talking to anyone just in case it led to any new lines of dialogue while I was upgrading my Estus Flash shard. So let's head back there now. And while we're here, Transposing Kiln, it was that guy that I've heard mention it. Let's check around just a little bit. Do I have enough to upgrade weapons? All of the usual gameplay loops.
It is good, wasn't it?
Reinforced weapon. S-Stock +2. I need one more Titanite shard, and this guy does not sell any. I have no more shards. Inventory. I think that's it for me and Andre at the moment. What about you?
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire. Very well.
You.
Then take nar.
Yep. Okay, we are able to level up and then some. And right now I'm thinking endurance. Vitality is now equip load. Yeah, I think a little more stamina would do me some good. I'll probably try to get like the stamina and the HP up to 20 before really moving on to anything else. One thing I did want to spend a little bit of time talking about, whether or not this upcoming conversation interrupts us, I do not know though. So, I'm a terrible, terrible person. Okay. Well, let's get his dialogue out of the way, and then I'll go off on my own wonderful little tangents. Oh, you're over here. I'm gonna do this 3 times. That's how bad I am at platforming in a Souls game. Okay, it's not that one, but this one. Let's see what you have to say.
Fret not. My feet are here firmly planted. For I am a...
Yeah, I don't know about the firmly planted thing. Okay, give Transposing Kiln.
Listen, this might pique thine interest. Before I was a Lord of Cinder, the
Yeah.
process of
This is stuff
most
that I
if thou
have
happens
heard. Okay.
Oh, belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better days, but methinks it shall suffice. Now, bring to me a twisted soul. Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In transposing a twisted soul, its true power transferreth to thee. Thy purpose is to seek lords and slay them. What's to fear in a little transposition now?
Okay. So is this going to be boss soul? Yeah, it is. Okay. All items, spells, weapons, rings. Interesting. So the soul of the rotted greatwood could give us the Hollow Slayer's greatsword. Why can we not do this thing? Soul of the rotted greatwood could also give us our store's spear. Oh, the demon. Okay, let's check this out. Greatsword used for a lifetime by a masked knight. Harbors the fears that lurk within the minds of hollows and is particularly effective against them. Bestowed to a proper Mira knight long ago. Two-hand to execute special sword techniques. Okay, it looks kind of like the Mira greatsword with the pommel sort of expanded to have a grip up the blade a little bit more. Wonder if its moveset is similar. The Demon's Great Axe. Okay, the Chaos Demon harbors fire, twisted and malformed. Makes sense. Demonic Flare causes flames within and smash it upon earth and foes. Vort's Great Hammer. The Great Hammer wielded by Vort, the Outrider Knight of the Boreal Valley. Weapon is imbued with frost and causes frostbite. Frost accumulates in the body, causing frostbite, saps one health, lowers absorption, and slows stamina recovery. At least we got an explanation of what frostbite does. Anchors weapon to earth, temporarily boosting poise. Our store's spear, one of the curses that festered within the belly of the Greatwood, and a terrible weapon favored by the Earl Arstor, the Impaler. The spear is enwreathed in rotten, heavily poisonous meat. Defeating foes restores HP. Interesting. Shield splitter. Okay. A demon's fist, a demonic fist that burns with fiery essence. Its wielder can release this power through use of its skill when two-handed fists are equipped to each hand. Well, that's cool that you don't have to get two of an item to sort of dual wield a fist weapon. Gives flame a whirlwind to spin through opponents with abandon, flaming fists outstretched. I'm assuming you spin like a top. That's interesting. And Pontiff's Left Eye, the bewitched ring that Pontiff Sullivan bestowed upon his knights, recovers HP with successive attacks. Knights who peer into the black orb are lured into battles of death, transformed into frenzied beasts. No wonder the Pontiff only provided these rings to those dispatched to foreign lands. So, the Ring of the Evil Eye, basically, brought back anew. Of all of the items, that really seems to be the one I would want, but the 0 reflects that it costs nothing, or reflects that I can't get it. Okay, just costs nothing. Well, I'll tell you what, Boreal Valley, I'm probably not going to be doing his Great Hammer, so let's go ahead and grab the new and improved...
Now, do not be away over long.
The new and improved Ring of the Evil Eye, and we'll go ahead and get that equipped. Alright, and I have noticed something, this was a question I had much earlier, which is sometimes I would see items that had that symbol on them. We've got like a quick menu that sort of always comes up here, and I think something like a Homeward Bone would make a ton of sense to have on that. Maybe when you're going into multiplayer and you want to have signs and hellos and all of that sort of stuff up there, that would make sense to sort of load up on that bar. But things you don't necessarily want to have interfering with, like, cycling from Estus flasks and fire bombs and what have you. So it is the tool belt, which is interesting. Actually, you know, something like the binoculars probably makes a lot of sense to have there instead of having it here. And actually placing it there takes it out of that menu. Okay, so now if I want to use this stuff, I just press start and it is on that menu instead. Now, the Ring of the Evil Eye / the Pontiff's Left Eye kind of brings up an interesting point. And I've been thinking about this after the last episode, which is, what do I think about the reused assets from Dark Souls 1 mostly to Dark Souls 3? And I'm at the point where I either think it's going to be pulled off really, really well, and I'll get into why in a moment, or it is just sheerly lazy fan service. And I'm not sure which yet. This actually was not the bonfire that I thought it was. I also haven't opened this shortcut up yet. No, I have not. Okay. Now, there is a crystal lizard up there, though. Why it might just be fan service is probably pretty obvious. But my other thought is in Dark Souls 2, we were introduced to the idea that powerful souls... Sharp gem. Okay. Powerful souls were... Oh, and there's also an item up there that I never got. Interesting. Oh, man, I'm going to go chasing a lot of rabbits in this episode, it seems. Let's get to the bonfire that I intended to get to, the cliff underside. We saw with the 4 Lord Souls that they had sort of been reincarnated into new bosses that, while not exact copy-paste, were being fueled by the same sort of passions and desires as the previous or maybe original holders of those souls, which almost makes me question what was motivating the Lord Souls in Dark Souls 1, because, they weren't the original sort of crafters of those souls, right? They found them and then behaved in very influential ways in Dark Souls 1. And we see sort of a new generation of those souls and those reenactments happening within Dark Souls 2. And I think that can play into the idea of the game world in sort of like a myth cycle where... Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Where certain characters are sort of doomed to repeat their actions in new people, that we're just seeing. Okay, they've at least thrown their pots at me. I should just be able to get in here and ditch them. Perhaps the story of a... Okay. It is going down, and I want to go down. Are you gonna... Please don't fall on my head. I would prefer that not occur. Perhaps the archetype of a great warrior from Katarina that would, wear the onion armor was strong enough that it just sees itself repeated over and over again. This room feels a little spacious and vacant. Perhaps that is what we're encountering, like the archetypal onion bro just sort of sees himself reincarnated Oh my. Oh my. To play out his quest again and again. And isn't that what the player character has been in every game? You know, a new archetypal sort of savior. Whoa! That was a bit quicker than I was expecting. Okay, okay, yep, yep. I'd like to back off if at all possible and get magic weapon up. Yeah. As this guy, wow, he like frosted through the wall. And I actually have quite a large frost meter built up. Let's have that dissipate for just a moment before I bother getting in here and trying to engage with him. Okay. And I didn't do an insignificant amount of damage. There we go. Okay, okay. I'd say another combo of attacks, and that is it for you. The Irithal Straight Sword, huh? Okay. I'm assuming that was a guaranteed drop from him. And here. Straight Sword bestowed upon the Outrider Knights of the Boreal Valley. This weapon is enshrouded in frost and causes frostbite. Every Outrider Knight one day devolves into a beast, constantly hounded by Pontiff Sullivan's black eyes. While in stance, use normal attack to break a foe's guard from below. And shrug. Okay, okay, okay. But it does additional effects 35 frost. 124 and 20. 26 and 22. So our +2 S-Stock does about as much damage as this, just a little bit more. And it has a little bit better strength scaling, a little bit worse dex scaling. But we can't actually use it. Oh, very nice visual effect. Okay, a very sort of standard straight sword attack, straight sword of thrust. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So it is basically a straight sword imbued with some additional frost damage, it looks like. Also imbued with some pretty fancy particle effects, it looks like. Okay. But the real question is, nope, can't magic weapon it. That makes me sad. Okay. Probably to be expected though, right? And what is this fancy door that you were guarding? Uh-huh. I see. The Undead Settlement was built atop this. So, Undead Settlement is just sort of back up that way on top of those cliffs. And we are heading down, perhaps to the Boreal Valley? That doesn't exactly sound appealing to me. No. That is not somewhere we're going to be walking. Although that might be the little cliff's edge over there. But below us are just treetops. Ew. And some gnarly little thing here. Oh my. Okay. Hello, Mr. Bird-Winged Man. Your screeches will forever haunt my dreams. Anything up here? Anything? This feels like an item should have been like right there. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. Okay. So that's kind of what I've been mulling over, and that's certainly a half completed idea in my mind right now. But that we're just seeing the repeated influence of such strong souls on the world, right? Shriving stone. What are you? Are you a used thing? Oh yeah, I need to do that as well. No, you are Undo weapon infusion. Okay, fair enough. I do think, you know, like maybe the seeds of that idea are being planted, and if that is used well, I could see it being a pretty masterful idea. And then there's the other part of me that was meant to be a leaping attack and failed miserably, as you could probably tell. The other, you know, voice in my head is basically saying, no, they were just being lazy. They just hit Control-C, Control-V, and copied and pasted character design over. And I really hope that that's not the case. And I don't think that, you know, I don't think it was, oh, well, everybody liked Dark Souls 1 and people didn't like Dark Souls 2 as much. Let's just bring them all the characters that they want and liked from the first game and provide them with lots of fan service. I don't think that's what we're seeing. Oh my. Kind of burned all my stamina on the first one of those guys, which was unfortunate. I don't think that that's what we're seeing, but I haven't... Oh my. You also scared the crap out of me. Okay, so sort of a mage archetype as well. Does some poison clouds and some fiery attacks. Thankfully is fairly easy to stagger. Alright, no drops from me. Anything back here? A path back here. So it looks like that's going to link up to something else, so there's probably no reason for me to drop down right now. Yeah. Let's go around the other way. So we obviously haven't gotten the payoff from that yet. Oh no, that is the way. Ah. Okay. Fair enough. And I'm hoping that that payoff is there and does come. But maybe it's not the point, you know, like maybe the game's narrative is not going to find itself focusing on the why this is all happening. One of the sort of standouts of Dark Souls 1, Brigand Axe. Oh, hello. Not an invader, but an NPC I can lock onto, certainly. Interesting. You just polished up your sword a bit there, didn't you? So one of the standout ideas from Dark Souls 1 was always that it didn't feel like the game world cared too much that you were in it. That you were just sort of in a setting, and sure, you were going to end up having great impact on it, but it didn't feel like the world was set up for you to do that. That the only purpose to it was the player character. It instead sort of felt like there were a lot of other moving parts going about their lives and living them regardless of your impact. The butcher knife. Okay, another Dark Souls 1 callback, perhaps. A female who is naked and carrying a giant butcher's knife tries to kill us, but not an invader this time, which I find an interesting choice. Oddly large blade wielded by the Mad Woman haunting the Road of Sacrifices. Squarely landed hits restore HP. Back in the Undead Settlement, the woman acquired a taste for human flesh, of which she took glee in partaking. Sharpening the blade increases HP restored with each successive hit. Okay. It is very much the butcher's knife. And a little bit of cannibalism seems to have come our way. Huh. I'm really just sort of looking for a bonfire at this point. I feel like there would be... Brigand Hood. Okay, we got the Brigand Axe just a moment ago. I really feel like there would be one soon. Of course, maybe we're still in the Undead Settlement. Ooh, brigand twin daggers. That sounds fancy. Where are you? Up here. I don't have the 18 dex required. These paired daggers are the preferred weapon of the brigands of a distant land. When two-handed, the wielder holds a blade in each hand, allowing for divergent attacks that include left-handed moves. Instantly step behind or around the side of foes, especially effective when locked onto a target. That actually sounds really cool. Requires 18 dex, and I'm at 16. Perhaps I'll drop a couple of points in there. My build has certainly not solidified at this point. I could probably have stood to have dropped a few points from strength that I didn't need to put in there, but a bit of dex and then a bit of magic seems to be more or less the way I'm going. We get a bit of a branch here up this way to these two guys, or off that way to what looks like more than just two guys. Are you yeah, you're a solid thing. Okay. Are you going to... That's very strange. Very strange indeed. A sleeping one, I think. Sort of clipping into the ground, though. Oh, another Titanite shard. Beautiful. Will allow us the opportunity to upgrade our S-Stock another level. Let's just be malicious. Yeah. That was very strange that there was one curled up there so very obviously. I don't know. Alright. More drop-offs. Another bridge. Looks like a caster as well. And I think we could just drop to it from right here, which might be preferred to taking these guys head on. Okay. Yeah, you do your winged thing. Let's see what actually happens. They just sort of become more aggressive, it would seem. Yeah, not too bad. Ooh, a great Corvian scythe. Alrighty, great scythe of the forlorn souls, guided by the heretical storytellers. The mistress of the painted world is said to wield a great scythe herself. Great scythes inflict profuse bleeding, such that the blood splatters on the wielder. Neck swipe. This attack aims for the scruff of a foe's neck, and when successful, functions as a headshot, inflicting heavy damage. So the painted world of Ariamis exists. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well then. We're going to play a lot of back away slowly, and, oh man, see if we can't split these guys up a little bit. Okay, let's not go off that way. Let's get hit a bunch while a tree is blocking our vision. Alright, seems good. It's a good plan so far. I like it. Oh, one of them is red-eyed. Okay, we should probably become prepared for the moment that we are going to die. But let's see if we can't take some of them down with us. Okay, like this. This will allow for us to probably get them to sort of jump off. Or not. You know, they do have wings. Oh my god. Alright, let's allow for myself to jump off. Okay. Ow. Alright, 1 down. 2 to go. Okay. That's not an attack I love. Oh, that's not an attack I love either. Blood loss. For the win. Wow. Those guys were merciless. Merciless, I say. And we found no bonfire. They've got to run back from all the way back there. That feels like a very, very long journey. I'm maybe a little disappointed by that. Yeah, we're all the way back here. And of course lost our bonus HP from being embered. Another thing that I'd kind of been thinking about lately. So it's interesting to me, the framing of this mechanic, right? I've heard people that didn't like it in Dark Souls 2 praising the change made in Dark Souls 3, which is in Dark Souls 2 when you would die, you would lose health. Oh boy, I'm not wanting to lose all of those souls. Okay, that went really well. So in Dark Souls 2, as you would die, you would lose max HP. But oh no, in Dark Souls 3, it doesn't work like that. There is simply an item to give you bonus HP. And while you are in your non-embered state, your health bar doesn't... This is going to go up this time. Doesn't represent that you're missing anything. And that's all that really changed, is that it's no longer being displayed on my health bar, that there's like a maximum that I'm not at. And somehow changing it from being a penalty to a bonus made everyone happy again, and everyone loves it. And I find that odd, in a sense that just mechanically I don't see the real difference. Of course, in Dark Souls 2 you lost HP slowly with each subsequent death, versus the big chunk taken off. But like, how would that be better to anyone complaining about being penalized for dying? I don't know. I just find that weird. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who didn't like how in Dark Souls 2 they would take away HP if you died, but is super fond of how you can use an ember to get HP back in Dark Souls 3. And yeah, those are not different mechanics. Don't quite kill that guy fast enough when I'm not using magic weapon, it seems. And their erratic attack patterns are just annoying more than anything. Alright, no, that guy is the right way to go. Right. There we go. Now. Hello. Yeah, I saw you. I didn't really see him. I heard him when he came up behind us, and that... Oh, really? None of my attacks managed to hit or stagger him there? Ah, that's annoying. Alright. At least we got our souls back. That's something. Now... I think I can manage to just ignore those other enemies, and perhaps... Perhaps. Alright, let's see what happens here. We do that. Okay, that was fun. What? Are you kidding me? I just walked right by this and the area name never queued? Where was this bonfire a minute ago? How did I miss this? Why am I such an idiot? These questions and more. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what. That is a fitting and aggravating moment to end the episode on. How did I not... I'm going to rewatch the video and just yell at myself a whole bunch. but I never got a Road of Sacrifices pop up, right? I just came in here and ran around and fought the bird people and died a horrible platforming death. There's actually... Okay, where we died is just right over there, that bridge. And we tried to jump and failed miserably. Yep, that sounds about right. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe. More videos on the channel every day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes. And I will catch you guys next time.